Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Without further ado, we want to welcome you wherever you're joining us from. Hi, Bo. We start our show today with Dala B and Paige. Shaft says, "How are you doing, brother?" Mabel Wilder says, "Good to see you, sir. Good to see you all." Hi, Bo. One day we're going to do a dancing session. Let's go straight into our session for tonight. The reason sometimes we bring you two sessions is that people have different viewing times. People have different persuasions. And so we have different time zones, people in different countries. Good evening, everybody. Tuizere says, watching you from Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you very much, Tuizere. We welcome you to our conversation tonight. And today we want to look at one of the most sensitive topics, which is forgiveness. And allow me to shock you by simply stating that I think that forgiveness is over-spiritualized. I'm not saying it's overrated, but I think forgiveness is over-spiritualized. And to a certain extent, welcome everybody. Hussein says, I'm in Mongo, welcome. Let's go deeper. To a certain extent, we have complicated the process of forgiveness. We've made it into a quick pro quo, a cho chise, a give and take process. And in the end, we have inhibited ourselves, first of all, fundamentally, from experiencing the simplicity of forgiveness. What is forgiveness? In very simple terms, forgiveness is letting go of the pain of the past. That's it. Forgiveness is not forgetting what happened to you. Forgiveness is not ignoring what happened to you. Forgiveness is letting go of the trauma of the past. And that process, in and of itself, I may be oversimplifying it, I agree and I admit, but in and of itself becomes the comb that straightens our hair, becomes the pressing iron that takes away the crisps in our clothes, the wrinkles in our clothes, becomes the detergent that washes away our pain. Wait, I hope I didn't misspell anything. Somebody here says how to what? I'll be so sad if I misspelled a word. How to forgive. Yes, how to forgive. We are correct. Enos, don't be funny. We forgive you, Enos. We forgive you. So I want to share with you 7 steps that you can take immediately to ensure that you are walking free of that baggage. And people who have not forgiven, they carry with them a baggage. They carry with them a burden. They carry with them a cross. They carry with them a responsibility and an outstanding transaction that needs closure. So here are the 7 steps that I want to share with you in the process to forgiveness. And these steps can apply at organizational level, maybe not so much at corporate level, because corporate level might have other requirements. You may forgive someone, but you still have to do bookkeeping entries and things like that. There may still be some legal provisions and so on, and statutory requirements and so on and so forth. Step number 1, acknowledge the hurt that you went through. Don't ever ignore pain. Acknowledge it. If something happened to you, acknowledge that it happened. However deep, however small, acknowledge it. I was raped at a young age. I was raped at an adult age. I was betrayed. I was wrongfully accused. I was frustrated, intimidated, colonized, whatever you want to say, admit it. Whatever happened to you that hurt you, admit it. Because if you keep walking around ignoring and not acknowledging, then you are giving away your power. Number 2, consider deeply how much a situation could have affected you. Have you ever passed through, whilst driving, a very bad place and you think you are okay? Can't your sump underneath the engine has been damaged and oil is leaking? You have to stop, acknowledge that you went through a very bad pothole, go underneath your car and check if there are any leakages. Check your tires. Check yourself. Make sure you're unscathed. Or if you are scathed, to what extent have you been hurt? This process is very important, because if you don't, you will be walking around thinking you are alive when you are dying. You will be walking around thinking you are happy when you are very sad. So acknowledge the pain and then consider how the hurt and pain has affected you throughout your life. Just give it a consideration. Don't brush it aside. Don't change topics when people start talking about your past. This leads us to step number 3. Accept that you cannot change the past. Acceptance. This is a very powerful tool, because it is what takes us further into the powers that we're supposed to attain. Accept that you cannot change the past. You were a child. You were innocent. You were an adult. You were immature. You were new in business. You were naive. You were new in college. You didn't know better. You trusted. You overbelieved. Whatever it is, accept that it happened, but also accept that you cannot change it. You cannot change the past. I personally have 1,000 things I would like to go into my past and change. 1,000. But I have no power over them. If you look at my hand, I have bruises on my hands. I can tell you which scar. I got burnt from candy. I hurt myself. This one here, I got burnt from candy. This one here was a barbed wire. This one here, I hit myself. I've got scars on my hands. Trust me, even if I tried surgery, it won't work. So I have to live with my scars and accept that they are part of my past. And I can do very little to change them. Now, cosmetics, cosmetology, plastic surgery may say otherwise, but your conscience will always be true to itself. Number 4, determine whether you are going to forgive or not. Don't waste your time thinking about forgiving people. Just make a choice. And this is where I say, perhaps we have overcomplicated forgiveness. Just determine, will I forgive that person or not? Yes, I will forgive them. No, I will not forgive them. And move on. Don't toil around that conversation. It's such a waste of time, such a waste of energy. Just say to yourself, I'm forgiving them. Let's move on. Then let me go this way. I'm not forgiving them. Let me go this way. And move on. And that's the simplistic side of forgiveness that I think we over spiritualize. So to a certain extent, I'm actually proposing that forgiveness is nothing but a choice. It's nothing but a choice. And it is a choice that we prolong and delay because, because we have missed so many steps. We didn't acknowledge, we didn't consider, we didn't accept, and we didn't determine. We didn't make a determination. So depending on the determination you make, you have two choices. I'll ignore choice number one, which is you will continue to be, if you choose not to forgive, you have to choose the consequences of walking around with the burden of lack of forgiveness. Because every choice we make has a consequence. Now, if you choose the other way, which is to forgive, that leads us now to the fifth step, which is to repair. Repair the damage that was caused, repair the hurt. I don't know about people who say if somebody raped you as a child, as an example, and then you have accepted, you have determined, you have considered, you have done, and under repair, some people say, go back to that person and give him a hug. Or give her a hug. I think that's asking for too much. I'm struggling with what they did to me. I'm living with what they did to me. I even got pregnant out of the rape. I've raised a child all by myself for 15 years, 20 years from their rape. And every time, and this child, to make matters worse, looks like them. And now you're asking me to go hug them? You better hide all the weapons. Look, I might be born again, but I'm not that saved. I might be a Christian, but the blood of Jesus doesn't touch me everywhere. There's a few places where I still need the blood of Jesus now. I think that is asking for too much. So under repair, sometimes it means walking away from the people who hurt you to go as far as you can. I'm not talking about running. Don't run away from the things that hurt you, because there are moments you may have to live right next door to the things and the people who hurt you. But wherever you have a choice, go and repair yourself. Change towns, change cities, change jobs. Whatever is possible, you gotta do you. Don't do me. Don't do anybody else. T.D. Jakes' wife, First Lady Sarita Jakes, used to say, it takes as long as it takes. The last 2 points, number 6, learn. Okay, I can see your comments, Learn. Learn from your experience. What did you do right? What did you do wrong? Learn. All pain leads to gain. All darkness leads to light. Every time you get lost, you're about to be found. Every time you get frustrated, joy is about to come. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Learn. Every experience is a teacher. The good, the bad, and the ugly, they are all teachers. Private, public, tutors, personal coaches, they are all teachers. So learn. Learn from your bad experience, and possibly within learning, teach somebody else how to be a better person than you were. And the last point, forgive. Takes us back to our definition of forgiveness. What is forgiveness? It is letting go of the pain of the past. So remember what you have done. You have acknowledged what you went through. You've considered how you were hurt. You've accepted that you cannot change the past. That's a very powerful stage, step number 3. Number 4, you've determined to forgive. Step number 5, you have repaired. First of all, yourself. And step number 6, you have learned. Step number 7, you have forgiven. Before I go, I want to tell you the most important person you must forgive. It's not the other person. It's yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for trusting too much. Forgive yourself for being excited that night. You ended up with the wrong person. You ended up contracting a disease that you now have to live with. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for writing a check before the other check cleared, so you bounced the check, and now you're in jail. Forgive yourself that you drove a car without checking at the back, and you ended up killing your own twins. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself that you put in more than you should have. You went into the relationship not only nose first, you went in buttocks first. You put in everything. Forgive yourself. When you forgive yourself, it becomes so much easier to forgive anybody and everybody else. Have a beautiful day. Remember to share these videos with others. Leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Thank you for joining me this late. We'll talk to you next time. This is your friend and brother Mubita Nawa. I think I'm out. God bless you. We'll talk to you next time. Thank you very much. Good night. Therapy production. Good night. Leave a comment. Namukolo says powerful message. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Good night.